Welcome to the ultimate medieval game, Kingdom Come Deliverance II. Today we're going to be checking out new gameplay of a castle siege, crossbow gameplay, and the early parts of the game from IGN. But there's a lot of new mechanics like the armor set system, combat, and how your skills actually carry over from the first game that I'm going to be breaking down in this video. And if you want to see Kingdom Come Deliverance II do well, please do leave a like on the video. It helps YouTube push it out to people that may have never heard about the game, because I personally love this franchise and just want to see it get all of the attention it deserves. At the beginning of the 15th century, the Kingdom of Bohemia is ravaged by war. King Wenceslas IV is taken captive by rebellious nobles and his brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Lacking a ruler, the land descends into chaos. Man, I've missed this game so much. Only a handful of loyalists stand by the rightful king's side. Oh, we start out in a siege.
Keep firing! Don't stop!
Oh, yeah, that's from the trailer.
Give it up!
Wow, he actually killed someone with his gun.
We need more arrows! I need help here, damn it! You, grab whatever you can and get up top!
What are you doing here? Go and take cover in the keep!
I can't hold out against this onslaught much longer. Go and take cover with the others.
Look out!
Damn, he just saved her. A noble knight indeed. Who's this? Is that Father Godwin? It is!
Godwin! Where's your weapon?
To the battlements! Move!
Father!
Oh, is that Henry in hands? No. What is Capon?
Will you come to anoint us before we die?
We'll get anointed after the battles are hands. With booze.
Legend.
Get ready!
Here it comes. Dude, this is dope. Oh, look at that.
Take cover!
That must have been terrifying. Oh my god, they hit the winch. God, the shield wall. Look, this is so cool. This is like peak medieval castle battle. This is what the boys want.
A rude awakening, eh? Make it count.
We all know Capon's terrible at shooting a bow. But how about a crossbow? This is going to be a lot easier to use, because it has an aiming reticle. Last right. I like the animation.
Over here! Get up there quick! We have to repel them!
We can see our ammunition now in the bottom left. How many bolts we have. He missed! Said the crossbow is easier to use. Oh, the tutorial didn't tell him to aim. That's the problem. Oh, one sec, is he knocking it down with the halberd? So you can actually use halberds now as well. And by the way, if you're wondering, because I was told about this, you start off playing as Father Godwin because Henry isn't in this siege. And there's a few moments during the storyline where you're not playing as Henry, and I guess that's how they progress the storyline forward. But ultimately, you will still be playing as Henry and progressing his skills and everything like that, and we'll get more into that later. But here you can see the actual aiming of the crossbow and how much easier that is compared to a bow. It doesn't cost any stamina to hold down that trigger. Oh, just a bit lower and you would have had him. We need more ladders. Come on. Yeah, get wrecked, son. The penetration on this is going to be really good too. They have hand crossbows which you can use on horseback. Or this is I think a medium crossbow, but they have the heavy ones that you actually have to winch. But you can see he's pulling this back by hand, which is a lot faster firing rate, you can see. I do wonder what his skill is with the crossbow, because he seems pretty rapid at firing it. Bro, why are you shooting your own men?
Get ready! Get ready inside! Move downstairs! We can handle it here!
Let's go, Godwin.
Get over here with that crossbow and join the line.
God damn. The dialogue and all these different crests and the shields look amazing. Mate, I'm going to have to play through this siege multiple times because it looks amazing. Oh! This dude is crazy. Oh my god, this is amazing. Follow the commander, Dry Devil. And you can see your feet, obviously. He's almost moonwalking up those stairs. I wonder where we're going now. Right up to the keep. Oh, we're defending the battlements. They're attacking the walls.
Don't let them climb up! Knock him down!
Oh, look at that. So that was really cool right there. We've got to go back and talk about this because they've redone the combat system now. 4 lines of attack, up, left, right, and the stab attack. And you actually see he lifts up his axe. We see this trigger on the perfect block. And you see he hits it right there. And if you do time it perfectly, you get to parry the attack like that. So we see right here, this guy jumps over the wall. We get a free hit on off him. And then he gets to defend himself. He blocks our attack. And then we get the option to perfect block right there, which we do, deflecting his blow. We then basically get a free attack, which is really cool. And it hits him because he's got that disadvantage from just being parried. And you can see in real time how much harder that is to hit in comparison. So we wreck this guy. The dude actually finished him off with a kill move. And now there's a new mechanic to push down the ladder. But it said the enemy's too close. So I guess you can't do it while people are still climbing up. Oh, I love this game. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Get wrecked, son. You need an Urukai Berserker. Oh, so you actually use a halberd to push it off the wall. That makes sense. Don't know where we pull that out of. This is awesome. Defending the battlements. That dude's throwing stones off. It looks incredibly realistic. Exactly how I'd imagine a siege to be. And then we're on to another cutscene here. We can see Capon's actually fighting with us. Just terrifying. Oh! I knew that was gonna happen. Not again.
Don't poke at it. Just calm down.
Oh, Dentes Fortuna, fucking you, that. Jesus. You're only supposed to deliver a message to Trotsky. And the most adventure I was expecting was a fuck or two.
I'm sure we'll see Trotsky Castle later. So they're falling back to the tower. Interesting. I wonder if they lose this siege. I mean, it's based on history, but I don't want to check what happens. But it's actually really cool to finally be in the position of defending the castle from a siege. Because normally we were attacking or sneaking in, which was really cool. But man, that's going to be a hell of an intro to really set the tone of this game. The first game had such a slow build-up before you actually got to, you know, really get into the combat. Which made sense for the game, but this looks like a real exciting one just to throw you straight in the deep end. Several weeks earlier, so this is when they're on their way to Trotsky Castle. If you didn't know, at the end of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, they're basically writing a letter to the Lord of Trotsky Castle to try and figure out what side he's on without actually telling them what side they're on. Are you with Sigismund or you're against it? So you are literally delivering this letter to Trotsky Castle at the start of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And that's based on the first area of the map. But then later you'll go to Kuttenberg, which is another area of the map which is way bigger. And you can go back and forth in between. But this area you see now is much more like landscape and countryside. There's the dog, and you still have dog mechanics too. So we can pet our dog. So we're with Henry, Capon, and the boys from Townburg. And Brate.
Oh, dentes fortuna you art!
Definitely a different tone.
What's that you keep yelling, Sir Hans?
Good gracious, Henry, you don't mean to tell me you don't know Latin?
My apologies, Your Grace. Unfortunately, I was too busy shoveling shit and picking turnips to find time for studying Latin.
We shall have to rectify that. I can't have an ignoramus for a personal bodyguard.
Is that Pebbles?
Anyway, this Audens, whatever. What does it actually mean?
Audentes fortuna juvat. Fortune favors the brave.
I don't doubt it. All we have to do is deliver a letter to Lord Otto von Berghoff and ride back again. Doesn't take much bravery.
Christ, Henry, don't be such a stick in the mud. Aren't you glad to be finally out of that hellhole where we can finally enjoy some adventure? See a bit of the world. Meet new women. And simply have some fun.
Sure, but you promised Johannes that you'd be as good as gold, and I'm personally responsible for your safety.
Oh boy.
Besides, Trotsky's in the middle of nowhere, so I wouldn't expect much excitement there.
God help me, my bodyguard's a monk who can't speak Latin.
Sir! Trotsky!
So we finally get to see the castle. Oh man, it's stunning. So this is the edge of the first map, I imagine. And apparently when you're exploring it, it's constantly within sight. But you do have a struggle getting there.
That is fucking impressive. It makes Perkstein look like an outhouse. Berghoff must be made of money.
I think this castle, at the time it's come to its base, has literally just been finished. So this is going to be the most modern castle you've ever seen in terms of that time period. It's still, much of it still exists, but it is a ruin now, you know, like those wooden buildings, I assume, have fallen down into disrepair. But yeah, here we are. Mate, this makes me so excited to see this. Oh, what was that loading screen? We got a flash of a loading screen there. If you find yourself heavily outnumbered, the best option may be to run away, live to fight another day. You can always come back when you're more skilled at combat, more stealthy, or fortified with potions. Love the loading screens and the sort of oil painting there.
Well, Henry, looking forward to new adventures? Adventures that will become the stuff of legends?
In the first place, Sir Hans.
You can actually now respond with different dialogue options in live situations that don't have like paused dialogue. It might be like, say for example, you're walking through town with no clothes on, NPCs will react to you and you can be like, you know, F off, or you can say, oh, sorry, I'm really sorry. And you'll gain or lose reputation based on your responses. So it does actually have a gameplay mechanic. This is just a basic example of it.
In the first place, Sir Hans, we've got a task ahead of us. An important one. And a great responsibility. You don't meet such a mighty noble as von Bergov every day. So, first duty, then fun.
Quiet, monk! You'll just spoil the rest of our trip. It's all clear to me. We deliver the message, get the politics over with, and enjoy a bit of adventure together. But why didn't Uncle Hanush take care of it himself? Unless, maybe he's just testing me.
Definitely.
Why? He must trust you not to botch it up. Otherwise, he wouldn't send you as his envoy.
Of course! How could I possibly botch it up? There are foreign armies rampaging through Bohemia. The king is in captivity, God knows where. And here we are in the middle of it all, carrying an important document. No! I intend to make the most of this trip, one way or another.
You're a bit too keen. You never know what might happen.
Henry, don't be such a lily-liver! Audentes fortuna juvat! Well, enough of the chat. Trotsky's almost within reach.
Sir Hans, how's it looking there in the back?
All good, Oates. Just keep your eyes on the road ahead.
Exactly. If anything in front of us even looks like it's moving, we want to know.
Keep your hair on, Nick. Old Oak's got eyes like a hawk. I don't miss nothing.
Oh boy. Can hear hooves.
Should we get ready for a fight?
Take it easy, Henry. They're wearing von Bergov's colours. They're from Trotsky.
Henry's bloodthirsty.
Don't let them get away!
Besides, you wouldn't stand a chance against them.
Don't do anything foolish, fellas. Just follow my orders.
These are the same guys that are attacking the castle later.
Halt! What are you after here?
Is this usually how you greet visitors, my good man?
This is how we greet armed strangers when bandits are pillaging everywhere.
Can you not distinguish between a noble and a bandit, sir?
It's not always that straightforward these days. Who are you people?
Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. I bear a letter for Sir Otto von Bergov from my master, Sir Hanush of Lipa.
This is indeed the seal of the Lords of Lipa. And unless I am mistaken, Lord Hanush of Lipa is on the side of King Wenceslas. While my master is a member of the League of Lords, who side with King Sigismund. So it would appear we are enemies.
Capon.exe has stopped working. Henry must save the day.
We're not enemies. We're carrying a message with the aim of putting a stop to the hostilities.
And who are you?
Henry. From Skalitz.
So essentially what we're seeing here is as you go from Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, Henry basically, you built up all his skills and you progressed to a certain level and you were dealing with petty banditry. But now in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you're dealing with lords and knights and the scale has gone up. But at the start of the game, because they know you've played the first game potentially, you still get to say, what kind of Henry did you make? You know, because Henry has a certain amount of experience at this point in the game. It's basically a lore-friendly way of you choosing your playstyle. And that's going to dictate what skills start off more leveled than others, even when it comes to what relationship you had with Teresa in the first game. So here you can say, I'm a soldier, and that obviously boosts your hand-to-hand skills in combat, and apparently you're infamous for your short temper. However, if you say you're an advisor to the nobleman, you prefer to solve things with your tongue, you have knowledge and kind words, so you're going to have a higher charisma. And then finally we have that you're the scout of the company, you like to hide in the shadows and solve tasks silently, undetected and stealthily. Choosing a playstyle will give you some starting experience points, but the choice of what traits you will develop next is up to you. Henry's struggling with this decision too. He's probably just thinking about food, to be honest. I'm feeling quite hungry.
I'm Lord Capon's advisor and scribe, and now an envoy as well.
From Skalitz, you say? The one that King Sigismund's Cuman force...
We see here at the top right, your abilities have increased.
Capon's advisor and scribe, and now an envoy as well.
From Skalitz, you say? The one that King Sigismund's Cuman forces plundered?
And slaughtered everyone. Even so, I'm not going to Trotsky as an enemy, but as a peace envoy.
Even so, you're still strangers here, and armed strangers to boot. And as it happens, we're on the trail of just such a band, so why should I trust you?
So right here we get our first look at the new Persuasion system. You can solve a lot of situations by convincing the other side in dialogue. Some of the options below that define how you'll react, but beware, Persuasion requires the other party to believe you. So you can't just like make a bunch of stuff up that clearly doesn't make sense or isn't logical. So you can be charismatic, make use of your noble appearance and good reputation, or you can be dominant, make it clear to the other person that you're superior to them. Or speech, try and handle the situation peacefully and without conflict, or say anything to get your way, even using lies and manipulation. And then you might come across as a hero and protector of the weak, or dread. When reasoning doesn't work, threats might. So Persuasion in a real conversation isn't just black and white, and the game reflects that, which is really cool. Many situations can be solved by reasoning with the other party. Within dialogues, you'll have several options on how to react, but be warned, the other party won't always believe you. You also have now got reputations with every single faction in the game, from the tree huggers to the bandits to the lords, different towns and places you're visiting. They've basically split up everyone into factions, so it has a really deep system. Persuasion is not about picking the highest number, it's about who you're talking to, what you look like, what your reputation is. For example, threatening a bunch of thugs with violence alone is usually pointless, just like claiming to be a nobleman with straw sticking out of your boots. So right here you can see your stats, your speech, charisma, and might.
We want to negotiate an alliance. We'll come to an agreement with your lord in Trotsky, and maybe offer to deal with those bandits for you. After all, you haven't been able to track them down. So we can take matters into our own hands. So move aside, and let us, dutiful knights, pass.
Don't provoke me, boy, or you'll pass to a place you don't want to be. Didn't you say you were a scribe? Or are you trying to tell me you're a knight and a scribe?
See, it doesn't make sense.
Don't try to pull the wool over my eyes.
Don't listen to him, Captain. He's travelling with me for the first time, and evidently, he's got a bit above himself. We've come on the orders of Margrave Jobst of Moravia, and we bear a message from Sir Hanush of Lipa, Divish of Tarnberg, and Radzig Kobula. Our message concerns the offer of an alliance that it seems you need as much as we do right now.
All right, then. You may carry on, but put your men in their place, sir, before their impertinence leads you into trouble.
Indeed, I will. Thank you, Captain.
Great scene. He's like, fire!
Sorry about the cold reception. You must be cautious. These bandits create mayhem, then vanish like ghosts. We'll be on our way.
Oh, so you won't accompany us to the castle to see your lord?
Sorry, sir, we can't. Listen, you won't make it to the castle before nightfall, and Sir Otto's orders are to not admit anyone after dark, especially while we're away. You'd best camp until daybreak.
I'll take your point. I mean, back home, the last time someone let a nobleman in trouble into their castle, we had to bombard it to get him out. Is there an inn in these parts, at least?
There is one, but it's a bit of a way out, and I'm not sure your lordship would like it very much.
God! What kind of a backwater have they sent us to? I just suppose we'll just have to manage somehow. Good luck in hunting down those bandits.
Thomas, Captain at Trotsky. Thank you. And sorry again. Farewell.
Farewell.
Looks like a bit of a legend.
Well,
Looks like a
hold up. What now?
Since there's no tavern within reach, we'll just bed down here for the night. The pond looks inviting, and we've got wine enough.
And what about those bandits?
Well, they're probably keeping their heads down, what with that big patrol combing the woods for them.
Does look like a nice spot to camp. This actually exists in real life, by the way. A lot of these places are scanned and put into the game.
Come on, fellas. We'll camp here on the bank. At least we can bathe. I stink almost as bad as the rest of you, and you lot are rank.
When I visited the Czech Republic, it was very familiar because of all the work they've done with making it like this. The lighting really does look improved compared to the first game as well.
Call that dog to heel.
Oh, okay, so we can
What's
cool
all
our
the fuss
dog.
about, Mutt? Are you that hungry? All right, I'll see what I can get for you.
Well, hoorah!
You
Peace at
silly
last. That barking was a pain in the ass.
I would have left him barking for a while longer, I think. Oh, we can go around the camp. I can see there's some dice table over there. That looks nasty. What are you cooking?
Listen, would you have some scraps for Mutt?
That's a good one. He already gobbled up a piece of venison while I was having a piss. I've got one last sausage and I'll be saving that for the way back. Look, Henry, I'm fond of that beast, but you ought to keep him under control.
We'll get food at Trotsky. I'll bring you something from the noble's feast. You wouldn't want Mutt to bite you. What would you swap that sausage for?
Come on, Oates. We'll get to Trotsky tomorrow, and there'll be plenty of food there. We're a noble's escort, so they're obliged to feed us well. Pheasant in wine, roast pork with apples.
Damn.
Those sausages of yours are only fit for a dog anyway.
For Christ's sake, stop giving me a hard time. I'll have you know that sausage is fucking good. But neither you nor your dog
Fail.
will get to taste it.
Wouldn't you swap it for something?
I might. Tankard has my ring. I lost it to him at dice, and if I go home without it, my old woman will send me right back. If you can get it back, I'll be glad to give you that sausage.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
A sausage for a ring. I think I'll keep the ring if I win it. So we gotta go play him at dice then. On this little side quest, eh? Oh, you can feed him commands.
Stay.
Stay or heal. Aww, he's a good boy. We're just ignoring that side
Well
quest.
then, Henry.
Oh no. We're going back.
Come on, Conrad.
What?
Let's throw a few dice.
For the love of God. How many times do I have to tell you? I ain't playing with you.
Why not?
Because you cheat.
I do not.
Oh? And how come you always win then, eh?
That's an easy one. I always win, 'cause you always lose.
Where's the
I see you've
table
got
from?
dice set up. Want a game?
Sure. How's about spicing it up with a little wager?
I heard you won a ring off Oates.
Sus.
Want to bet that?
Fortune favours the brave, lad. But if you lose, you'll pay for everything I order in the tavern in Trotsky. All right? We'll see whose side luck is on today.
So this is Farkle if you don't know. And those are the rules. I won't read them. Those are the different points we can score. $1,500 gold. We immediately won. That's crazy.
Mother of damn eyes. You played well. What's to be done? A bet is a bet. Here's your ring.
Insane luck. That must have been scripted. So we got that ring.
Come on, Conrad.
What?
Let's throw a few dice.
It seems Tankard can't tell a 5 from a 6. I won that ring off him.
You beat the bastard. Ha! You're a dab hand, Henry. Thanks. Will you give it to me? If I go home without it, the old woman will break her broom over my back.
What will you give me for it?
Well, all I've got here is some grub. Want a sausage? It's venison.
All right. And enough games. You won't easily find another mug who'll exchange a ring for a sausage.
Yeah. True enough.
Hey,
So we can now feed our dog.
One little game, eh?
Leave me alone.
Here, mutt.
Give him the smoked sausage. Drop it on the floor and he's eating it. That's nice. There's also behavior options down there too. Free, heal, or stay.
Free.
Okay. And then commands, I guess, are like go follow me or something.
Henry, oh, that was a tight thing with the captain, eh?
I dealt with it. No, you didn't.
I got the feeling you'd lost your tongue.
Just for a moment. But true enough. That bastard surprised me a bit.
Well, that's what I'm here for. To deal with that kind of stuff.
And I must say, that was pretty good for your first action as leader of my bodyguard. Let's see if you keep it up. But we managed the situation all right in the end. He even apologized to us. If Hanush had seen it, maybe he'd finally stop treating me like a child, eh?
Well, I don't know. When I look at you, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Kiss my arse. And by the way, since you're here, how about stretching our limbs a bit after that long journey? With a bit of swordplay.
You're in the mood for that after riding so long?
Certainly. So then, eh?
All right then. Just a bit of swordplay for the hell of it? Or shall we have a wager?
Let's save the wagers for later.
Oh, you afraid?
Keep the biting remarks to yourself. You've got armor on, so just grab your helmet. Here's a practice sword for you. Have that ready too.
You can now have the visor down or up. There's a choice for it if your helmet has a visor. Another thing to mention here is these free shields on the armor inventory. So these are actually free preset outfits that you can just swap between immediately. So you probably have like a stealth outfit, your armor set like this, and then like maybe a noble outfit, so when you're going into shops and you get better prices. You can also see that your armor set affects your speech skill, charisma, your speed, how quick you can run, how conspicuous you are, like do you stand out wearing a bright yellow top, if you're going to be making a lot of noise running around in this plate armor, and how visible you are, like, you know, the shiny polished metal is going to stand out quite a bit compared to dark black clothing. We can also see other stats, so you've got strength, agility, vitality, health, energy, and nourishment. Pretty self-explanatory. And right here you can see your resistances to different attacks. So you've got stabbing attacks, swinging attacks, and blunt attacks. You have a different resistance for your head, legs, and gauntlets. So if you get hit in different parts, you're going to take different amounts of damage. And then obviously your weapons do different types of damage, but we're not holding a weapon yet. And then on the right hand side here, we can see our clothing actually now works in layers. So you've got your gambeson, and then the chainmail goes on top. Then you've got like a coif under your helmet. And if you don't have some padding underneath your helmet, when you get hit on the head, it actually does more damage. We also see here that our training sword is a little bit broken. It's not repaired up to full. You also have the weight of these items. For some reason in this demo, they're weightless. That shouldn't be like that. And you can see that little green shield. That means it's tied onto, and the red shield means it's part of your red outfit down here at the bottom. And the green shield means it's also part of your green outfit as well. So that's how that works. Now let's join Sirhan for some combat, because the new combat system is apparently a lot easier to get into but harder to master. Shall we start?
Shall we start?
Ready? Let's start.
Draw your sword.
Draw your sword.
Hang on. This time, let's get warmed up.
You actually do have unarmed combat too, and with your fist, you can either jab straight ahead or you can go right hook, left hook. But there's no, you're not gonna go from the top, you know. So you don't have that option as an attack. But when he gets out his sword, you see it change. He gets another attack direction.
I'll attack you this time. Let's get warmed up. I'll attack you a few times. You defend.
Go ahead. Impress me.
Well, then now we need to warm up.
Is that the best you've got? I didn't even work up a sweat.
Oh, you will soon enough. A foe in plate armor has to be worn down.
Let's see it then. Attack properly now. A longer sequence.
You can chain attacks by pressing the attack button again with your first attack and go for different directions, more efficient, tires them out more. Also uses up your stamina at the bottom
warmed
there.
Up, eh?
Yeah, but you're pretty winded yourself. While you're attacking, you still have to take care you have strength left to defend.
Save the advice and try it yourself.
Gladly. On guard.
So basically every time you attack, it costs you stamina, which is the yellow bar. If you have no stamina and you get attacked, then you will start taking damage to the red bar, which is your health. We got to block our attacks, so we've got to basically match the direction of his attacks with our sword position. It's pretty much just like mirroring him.
Good.
This guy's struggling a bit, but you get the idea.
No one's ever won a duel just by blocking. You've got to make an opening to strike back. And you do that by means of a perfect block.
Perfect block, eh? You've become a real swordsman.
Start your attack then.
So here we go, perfect block. We failed.
You have to move sooner.
It's a lot harder to do now, apparently, the perfect block.
You mustn't block until after I start my strike.
And there's a risk to it, because obviously if you fail to perfect block, you have to right click at the right time, otherwise he'll hit you and you'll lose health or stamina. So it's a pretty good system. Much cleaner than it was before. So we nailed the perfect block, which is why that like blue little sword icon changed in the middle.
Nice! But what about a riposte? Reckon you can manage that?
Why wouldn't I? Nothing to it. I just follow up a perfect block immediately with a strike. I'll show you.
Get ready!
And the only way someone can defend against a perfect block,
afterwards.
so he nails the perfect block, he then does a strike, and unless the other person also perfect blocks, which if they're not a good swordsman they won't do, you'll then hit them back pretty much 100% of the time.
Hey, you're not as good as Captain Bernard, but that wasn't bad.
Be sure to remember, if someone gives you a riposte, you can still fend it off with a perfect block. And it's best to follow up right away with your own riposte.
Yeah, right. But what if I want to attack in such a way that you can't make a perfect block?
Then it's best to attack at a spot where your opponent isn't covered. Where he's not holding his weapon. You defend, and I'll show you how.
All right. Come on then.
So he's blocking on the left, we're attacking him on the right side.
No. That way I can block you easily. All right. I get it. For Christ's sake. Enough demonstrations and explanations.
Let's have one training duel to finish up, eh?
Indeed. And let's have a wager to spice things up.
Always.
How about 100 groschen?
Damn, are we rich now? And at the bottom here it says you can reply by pressing Q. And then we press Q, and then it says, I'll wager even more. Suits me, I don't want to bet. Obviously you're going to go for more. Or you're a wuss.
All right.
Or, yes, there you go.
100 groschen it is.
Defend yourself.
Let's go.
First hit.
I like the commentary behind. The combat looks so much smoother than it was in KCD1. Ooh, yeah, there you go. He's run out of stamina, so now he'll start damaging his health. It might not, though, because it's a tutorial, so I don't know. But it should, if there was a real sword. Like that.
Fight at least.
Damn, he's getting destroyed by you. Perfect block, nice. Now attack. No. See, there we go. He's attacking, not where he's blocking, which is much better. Just got to keep an eye on the stamina regeneration. That's going to be your biggest downfall. And this is a clinch, so when you walk into someone, you can push them away from you, but depends on your strength whether you win the clinch or not.
I haven't got a hope.
This is really cool. You can chat with him during combat. He's not pressing it, but the option is there. I think you can taunt and stuff like that, which is pretty fun. He's going ham.
Put up a fight at least.
So you see, because we had no stamina, the shield was red and we couldn't perfect block it.
Go, fellas, go!
Oh, you haven't got a hope.
This is nice. Oh boy. He is deleting him. I assume it's IGN playing. Which is why, like, it's quite interesting because he's not getting completely destroyed. So clearly it is easier for new players in that sense. This seems really tanky. But when you are attacking with no stamina, you're not actually doing damage. So he keeps trying to attack him, but he's out of...
And you had it. I say the victor is clear. I'll get my winnings from you later.
Did he just yield to it? Oh yeah, here we see it. So press 1 to surrender, battle cry, or taunt.
And you had it.
And he
The
yielded.
victor is clear. I'll get my winnings from you later. Now it's time to eat. Oh, that swordplay has given me quite an appetite. Let's get some grub.
Put the wooden sword away. He only has a wooden sword. Looks like food's ready. Ah, you see, so just there. So this right here, you can see we have 1 to 8 quick slots. So you can now swap between different weapon types like crossbow, bow, and so on, just by pressing a different button. And I assume there'll be potion slots as well, but I've not tested that.
So who won, gentlemen?
That's obvious, isn't it? Henry learned a lesson or two.
He did.
And I won our bet. At least I'll have someone to buy me drinks in the tavern. It was almost like that time in Rattay.
So this is another choice that is based on the past game and what actually happened. You can say you lost or won.
True. Only I won that time. Your bow, which came in very handy afterwards.
You were unbelievably lucky, beating me after just 1 day of training.
I think I got double his score.
I wasn't in my best form that day. We had a drink or two beforehand.
Oats? What's this food supposed to be?
What's left of our supplies. Tomorrow we'll be at the castle, and we'll get some decent grub.
If you told us earlier, I could have shot a hare. And you could have cooked it like they did in the tavern the day before yesterday.
That tavern where you drank away all your coin?
Ha! You've got to have some fun.
And then you tried it on with the innkeeper's daughter when you were shit-faced.
She was pretty. A real peach. Admit it.
Only a fella was there.
I had to drag you out. Okay, so this is another choice we get on if we want to start the game with more strength, agility, vitality, or speech based on what we did in this situation.
He was well pissed off. If I hadn't convinced him you were the village idiot and that we dragged you home right away...
And if I hadn't left him a fistful of coin to boot...
So we just leveled up to level 16, which is interesting because it must mean we start the game at level 15 with already some different perks to choose between. We've also leveled up in speech based on our choice just there.
Home right away.
And if I hadn't left him a fistful of coin to boot...
Throwing groschen around like that? Fellas, if a rainy day comes, you'll be fucked.
Ha! I've got nothing to regret. The whole world turns around wenches. Ain't that right, Henry?
Hmm?
You never gave us the goods on that lass of yours. What was her name now?
Teresa. She lived with that crook Peshek at the mill.
And she saved my life.
A brave girl.
Aye. She's a fine lass. And? Is she any good? Like, is she any good? Get me?
So you could say what your relationship is with Teresa at this point. She's my sweetheart. Nothing happened with Teresa. Brave, and that'll have to do you.
She's brave. She saved my life when I went back to Scallis after it was razed to bury my parents, and a bunch of mercenaries attacked me. And that's all I'll say.
You know, this travelling isn't too bad.
Apart from the mosquitoes.
Aye. Apart from them.
Where were you yesterday evening, Henry? You were late for supper. That's not what I call watching over our Lord.
Hey, don't make trouble.
The next skill boost we get is Houndmaster, Stealth, Survival, or Scholarship. Let's see what we go for. Obviously, you can level up all these skills later, but it's cool sort of flavor to have
a bit
this.
of peace and quiet. I had a stroll around, checking out what plants grow here, praying for the success of our mission. Then I came back.
At last someone with some sense, who's not in a hurry all the time.
If I always had to think everything over, but...
I wouldn't have rolled in the hay with so many girls if I spent my time just thinking about it. Thanks for the prayer, anyway. And what about, time, sir? I mean, will we be getting any time off, sir?
It depends. Once von Berghoff hears us out, we should set off back home immediately.
What? Straight back on the road?
Well, we could stay a day or two, perhaps.
Does anyone know anything more about von Berghoff?
I had these in Kingdom Come 1, but actually having the timed options is cool.
Only what Sir Hans told us, that von Berghoff is a big cheese in the royal court. That's why we're going to negotiate an alliance with him.
You summed that up nicely. But yes, that's how it is. He's the Royal Chamberlain. You fellas will never meet a more important noble than him.
I heard he insists on having the finest swords, and that he's got a big collection of all kinds of swords and daggers.
Collecting them ain't the same as knowing how to use them.
And is he any good at sword fighting? It ain't nothing easy to learn.
Now we get to comment on if we have mastered sword fighting, heavy weapons, unarmed, or marksmanship. I feel like marksmanship is probably the hardest to level, and heavy weapons is new. We also have the halberd as an option now, so that's cool.
The sword is the weapon of a master. Balanced, fast, and suitable for all situations. Of course, you have to train with it and try to improve your technique, but the result is worth it.
Aye, I get it. It was just a training fight. Pardon me.
Oh, swords, swords, swords. No doubt you're going to tell us again how the perfidious Istvan Toth stole your sword. And I thought you'd come round to thinking about other things.
That sword is the only reminder I had of Pa. We forged it together, just before he was slain.
It's kind of cool that they are injecting the Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 story in this natural way of the conversation. So even if you start at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you'll be fine.
Well, that's another matter.
There's even flashbacks and stuff, but you can't spoil
you've heard
yet.
enough of that, hey?
Well, you know.
Nah, it's all right.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in Istvan's shoes if you ever come face to face with him again.
What? So Radzig ain't dead, though?
Enough, enough. Otherwise we'll be here for hours again hearing how Martin the Smith raised him even though Radzig is his real father. It's complicated, and let's leave it at that. No offense.
Who'll help me tomorrow with getting supplies for the journey back?
We rolled dice for it, and I won. So Conrad goes.
What are you on about?
Enough. Oath, you're no fun at all. There'll be a feast at the castle tomorrow, so forget about supplies.
Anyone for another helping? There's plenty left. Maybe even a bit for morning. Hmm?
No thanks. I must wash myself down a bit.
My words exactly. We can't turn up at Trotsky tomorrow in this state.
let's go and strip, Henry. Fellas,
Okay.
come and help us get out of this armor.
Are you really going to bathe here, Sir Hans? It don't look none too safe a spot to me.
Oh, don't be such an old woman, Oates. Bring some wine to warm our blood.
He looks pretty concerned about this decision.
Yeah, we're not on a trip to the baths here, Sir Hans.
Henry's right, sir. Duty first, fun later.
God's wounds. I haven't been away from Rattay in ages. So, here, I intend to live a little.
Trying to get mail off. Nightmare.
Blasted iron shirt. Oh, what a relief. I feel like I've just shed 40 pounds.
Ah, Christ. Will I ever live to see his young lordship finally grow up? He's got a good heart, but he doesn't have the sense that he was born with.
Well, responsibility will catch up with him soon enough, though.
There's more chance of me becoming a monk.
That's a view fit for a king.
Stunning. There's a dock on the other side of the lake too.
Whew. You were right about our stench.
Let's hope this water isn't too cold. You wouldn't want your pride and joy shrinking.
I'm more worried about it being too deep.
Come on.
Henry can't swim.
Oh, that really shrivels the old ballsack.
Beyond this cutscene, I don't think you can swim in this scene. In KCD2.
What's the matter?
Females! Let's go to them.
Sir Hans!
Oh, shut up and let's go. But quietly. We don't want them to spot us.
Sneak 100.
Hans!
Now, if you guys want more gameplay, you can check out over 4 hours of uncut livestream footage where we're touring Kuttenberg, and also this one, which takes place after this scene. There you'll see the new alchemy system, exploring the wilderness, and a lot more. I'll link it down below in the description and see you there.